Here are the batting orders now for the second game. For the Dodgers, leading off and playing first base, Wes Parker. We checked that it might be that Parker's going to play center field and Fairley will play first, but we have Willie Davis out of the lineup, and Parker, Fairley warming up with the first baseman's mitt down below. Ron Hunt will bat second and play second base. Lou Johnson in left field. Jim Lefevre at third base. Ron Fairley at first base. Jim Hickman in right field. Dick Schofield at shortstop. Jeff Corborg catching. And Don Sutton to do the pitching. For the Cardinals, Lou Brock in left. Bobby Tolan in center. Roger Maris in right. Orlando Cepeda at first. Mike Shannon at third. Dave Ricketts catching. Julian Javier at second base. Dal Maxwell at shortstop. And Alvin Jackson to do the pitching. First game went to the Cardinals. 8 runs, 12 hits, 2 errors. Dodgers 7 runs, 13 hits, and 3 errors. The Dodgers rallied for 4 in the ninth to tie the ball game, and the Cardinals came back in the bottom of the ninth, 2 singles and a double against Bob Miller to win the ball game 8-7. So the Dodgers now trying to snap a 6-game losing streak as they go to play in the second game of the doubleheader here at St. Louis, and the Cardinals take the field. On the scoreboard, Houston beat Cincinnati in the first game by a score of 7-4, and they're really trying to lay the law down to the league leaders. Second game is 4-1 in favor of Houston in the 5th inning. And the Cubs beat the Mets 5-3 in the first game and lead the second game 9-5 in the 4th inning. The Giants and Atlanta are tied up in the 10th inning at 3-3. And Philadelphia walloped Pittsburgh 14-1. Chicago beat New York in the American League first game 2-1, lead the second game 3-0 in the third. Boston over Washington 4-3 in the first game, 4-2 Washington leads in the 4th inning of the second game. Cleveland beat Kansas City 12-1. That's in the first game, and Baltimore leads Minnesota 2-0 in the 4th inning of a single game, and it is 3-0 Detroit over California in the 6th inning of a single game. Alvin Jackson 4-2 on the year against Don Sutton, 3-7, and we're all set to play ball. The Union Oil Company of California, happy to bring it to you from St. Louis. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry, and hi once again, everybody. Welcome to the second game. The Dodgers, sent to the dressing room in a state of shock on the 2 base hits and a booming double by Mike Shannon, have tried to regroup their forces and climb the hill a second time. They've lost 6 straight, and they're trying to snap it against a very tough hombre, Alvin Jackson. Never mind the fact he is 4-11 lifetime. Jackson last year against the Dodgers was 2-2, and his earned run average was less than 1. It meant that he ran up against Koufax and lost a couple of heartbreakers, but he could easily have beaten the Dodgers 4 times without a loss last year. So the Dodgers facing a tough left-hander, Alvin Jackson. Jackson, 5'11", 165-pounder from Waco, Texas, born on Christmas Day 32 years ago. And he'll be pitching to Wes Parker, Ron Hunt, and Lou Johnson. The pitch to Parker low, ball 1. Parker had 1 hit in the first game, a home run in the 7th inning with nobody on. Jackson back to the plate, 1-0. Fastball sprayed foul off to the right of the plate, upstairs, second deck. 1-1. A big crowd. They saw a wild first game. And the Cardinals, with a penchant for winning those 1-run ball games, they won 11 of 16 by 1 run. Jackson on the rubber, checks with Ricketts back of the plate. Now the 1-1 pitch, fastball fouled away, 1-2. To the count. Jackson reading Ricketts' signs. Back he comes to Parker, and it's a tapper back to the mound. Jackson has it, turns and flips to first for the out. 1 away. Alvin Jackson is one of the fine all-around players in the league. Good pitcher, excellent fielder, fine base runner, and not a bad hitter. Ron Hunt, the batter. Hunt in the first game had 2 hits, went 2 for 5. Jackson Ruddy delivers. Fastball outside. Ball 1. 1-0 to Ron Hunt. On deck, Lou Johnson, making his first official start since being injured. Fouls it away. He's made several appearances in a pinch hitting role. Last night, he was penciled into the starting lineup, but the rain made the outfield rather hazardous, and Walter Olson decided at the last minute to take Lou out. But now it's hot and dry, and Lou Johnson will get a start. 1-1 to count to Ron Hunt. The Union Oil Company of California sending it all to you from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. 1-1 pitch, fastball, lifted into shallow right field. Javier going out, and one-hands it, going away. See a fine play for Julian Javier to go out into right field and make an over-the-shoulder one-hand catch going away. 2 down in the first inning, and here is Lou Johnson. Johnson, appearing a couple of times as a pinch hitter in the road, homered in Atlanta, came up as a pinch hitter today and lined out to short. Lou batting .288. Jackson's first one is inside at the left hip. Ball 1, 1-0. So Lou Johnson back in the starting lineup for the first time since April the 27th, when he broke his leg against Atlanta at Dodger Stadium, actually the ankle. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball, a bouncer, back to the pitcher, a leaping catch by Jackson to throw him out. I'll say he's a good fielding pitcher, and the Dodgers are out 1-2-3. The end of half an inning, Dodgers nothing, Cardinals coming up. Your Union Oil dealer has Minuteman quality tire for you at a price that is right. With the Minuteman 3 and Minuteman 4 premium tires, you get the insured tire warranty. If the tire fails, you get a new one free. That's how strongly Union Oil believes in the quality of these tires. Your Minuteman 3 or Minuteman 4 tire is replaced free if it fails for any reason during the first year or 10,000 miles, whichever occurs first. Excluded, of course, are repairable punctures and malicious damage. This is America's strongest tire warranty, and only Union Oil has it. The first inning, the Cardinals with Brock, Poland, and Maris, and the Dodgers with Don Sutton tuning up to Jeff Torborg. The infield of Ron Fairley, Ron Hunt, Dick Schofield, and Jim Lefevre. The outfield, Lou Johnson, Wes Parker, and Jim Hickman. Willie Davis being rested against left-hander Alvin Jackson. Sutton 3-7 with the league, 0-1 with the Cardinals, 1-3 lifetime. Sutton lost to the Cardinals in April 13-4. He lost his last start at Atlanta in a game that wound up 13-5. His last victory, a complete game win over the Pirates, June 3rd. Final score, Atlanta came up with a run in the 10th inning and beat San Francisco 4-3. The winning pitcher, Denny LeMaster, he is 7-1. The losing pitcher, Juan Marichal, he is 9-5. Both pitchers went all the way in that game. Lou Brock fouls one out of play, 0-1. For the Braves, 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors. For the Giants, 3 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors. Before 37,000. Brock runs up as if Devontin takes the strike, and the count 0-2. Deck, Bobby Tolan. Sutton holding the ball at the belt. Now into his windup in the strike 2 pitch. Breaking ball fouled away off to the left. Back into the seats out of play. No balls and 2 strikes to Lou Brock. Sutton scraping the dirt off his cleats. Now looks in to get a sign. Nods yes and into his windup. Strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball outside. Ball 1, 1-2. The Dodgers have now lost 6 in a row, and they look to Sutton to break it. And they're not sure whether Don Drysdale will be able to answer the bell on Tuesday. The pitch to Brock outside. Don, in running in the outfield last night with several pitchers, was stepped on, and the little toe on his left foot badly bruised and swollen, and they just don't know yet whether he'll be able to pitch on Tuesday. 2-2 pitch outside, ball 3. 3-2 to Lou Brock. Sutton reading Torborg. Don nods yes, looks down at his feet, goes to his windup, and the 3-2 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network. All right, Lou Brock with 23 stolen bases at first base. Brock was on base once in the first game and did not have a chance to try to steal. Bobby Tolan at the plate. Tolan had a single and a double in the first game. Sutton checking Brock and decides you better drive him back. Roger Maris on deck. Lefebvre in on the grass, and Tolan backed out. A throw to first, not in time. Cardinals won the first ball game 8-7. The pitch to Tolan outside, ball 1. 1-0 to Bobby Tolan. Lou Brock held on by Ron Fairley at first. Brock inching off. And there he goes. The pitch is swung on and hit into right field for a base hit. So Brock just keeps on going to third. Hickman's throw into Ron Hunt, and the Cardinals are in business right away in the first inning. For Bobby Tolan, a solid base hit to right to go with his 2 hits in the first game. And now here come the big birds. Maris, Cepeda, and Shannon. Roger Maris, in the first game, had 3 singles and a walk. So he got on base 4 out of 5 times, went 3 for 4, and scored the winning run from second base on the booming double by Mike Shannon, who came within a couple of feet of hitting a home run. Curve is low. Ball 1, 1-0. One ball and no strikes to Roger Maris. Sutton heaves a sigh. He's struggling, and he just started. Down at the belt. The 1-0 pitch to Maris. Inside, ball 2. Has a look at Joe Schultz coaching at third. Dick Sisler at first. Lou Brock down the line from third. Bobby Tolan from first. So they got the track team out there. Sutton at the belt. Throws to first. Tolan back to the bag. Tolan and Brock Brock are roommates. The two youngsters are well known in the St. Louis area for their efforts for behalf of some poor youngsters here in St. Louis. Maris gets a high foul back of the plate, and this one will go out of play. Last winter, Lou Brock went to a banquet to receive an award from a boys' club, and he realized that the boys' club was really hurting. He had no equipment. The kids were scratching just to get anything at all in order to play some kind of a game called baseball. And Brock became deeply involved with them. And the membership of the boys' club, since Brock gave them the spirit and drive of his youth, gone from 80 to 300. And Brock and young Bob Tolan are now doing some worthwhile work off the field. 2-1 pitch. There goes Tolan. The pitch outside a bluff by Torborg. No play. There wasn't a thing he could do with it, not with that speed. So Tolan steals second base without a play. So Tolan is 4 out of 5. First base open. 3-1 the count to Maris. So Sutton is on the ropes here right after the bell for the first round. Don behind to Roger Maris, 3-1. Into his windup and the 3-1 pitch. Low, it loads him up, nobody out, and Cepeda the batter. So the Cardinals have loaded the bases. Orlando Cepeda in the first ball game walked, then went 0 for 3, but in the ninth inning after Maris had singled, Cepeda singled him to second, and Roger eventually came home. On deck, Mike Shannon, who won the first game with his double. No one in the Dodger bullpen. Everybody else in the dugout. It'll be up to Sutton for a while. There's no one even sitting in the bullpen. Sutton into his windup. Don ready and delivers, and it's a ground foul outside of third. Brock at third, Tolan at second, Maris at first, nobody out. The Dodgers in the first game used Singer, Karanowski, Egan, and Miller. Last night they used Brewer, Karanowski, Regan, and Miller. So they're hurting for pitching in this second game. And it's too early to come in with somebody like Regan. So Sutton's going to have to try and fight his way out of it. Strike one pitch to Cepeda. Curveball over. Strike two. 0-2 to Cepeda. Cardinals won the first ball game 8-7, and now in the first inning they've loaded the bases with nobody out. Sutton turns his back for a moment. Now Don checking with Torborg. Sutton nodding yes. And the strike two pitch to Orlando Cepeda. Fastball in on the hands, ball one. 1-2. Sutton getting his signs. Runners take their leads, and Cepeda backed out. All right, Sutton is ready. And the 1-2 pitch with the bases loaded. Fastball low. Ball two. 2-2. So the Cardinals getting well in a hurry after losing 3 straight from Houston. Trying to sweep a series from the Dodgers. And the Dodgers in desperate straits here in the first inning of the second game. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball solid into the left field corner, and that's going to rattle off the wall. In comes Brock. In comes Tolan. Here comes Maris, and on a bad throw, Cepeda goes to third. Cepeda. He doubles home 3, takes third on a high throw that sailed over the plate. Sutton had backed up. And so the Cardinals are leading 3-0, and the chairs in the stadium aren't really warm for the second game. The Dodgers, I think that Cepeda had missed a bag, or at least one of the runners did. First they thought that someone missed second base. Now they're going to make a play at third. Sutton throws over to third, steps on the bag, does Lefevre, and they get the arms outspread by Billy Williams. So a bases-loaded double. And the Cardinals lead 3-0 in the first inning. There's still no one in the bullpen. And the batter is Mike Shannon. The pitch high to Mike. And now Walter Alston comes out of the Dodger dugout. And let's see. He wants to talk to Billy Williams. It appeared from up here that after Cepeda had doubled, when the 3 runs were in, Ron Hunt had asked for the ball at second base. Of course, a lot of men went by second base. You're not sure who might have missed it. But then they made the appeal to third base. They threw to third, and the sign was safe by Billy Williams. But now Alston comes out and argues with the third base umpire. So Billy Williams and Walter Alston having quite a discussion. Ken Burkhardt and Frank Sikori listening, as is Joe Schultz of the Cardinals and Jim Lefevre of the Dodgers. Pretty sure it has to do with a runner missing third. At least in the Dodgers' eyes. The Dodgers are furious for a play in the first game. On the 3-1 pitch, if you were with us, to Jim Hickman, when he went to first for ball 4, and then Frank Sikori, the first base umpire, ruled it, swung at it. That was the play that all the players were talking about in the dressing room, we understand. So, of course, now a team angry at the umpires from the first game, they're ready to explode in the nightcap. All right, Cepeda standing at third base, 3 runs over, and Mike Shannon at the plate with the count 1 ball and no strikes. Sutton's curve is inside, ball 2. So the Cardinals trying to sweep. Sutton reading scoreboard, now down into his windup, and the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball over for a strike, 2-1. Houston leading Cincinnati 4-1 in the 6th inning, and the Astros won the first game 7-4. And suddenly now the Dodgers are hearing noises over their shoulders because the Astros are moving up from behind. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Fastball whacked foul, and that almost took the heels off Joe Schultz. 2-2. Two to Mike Shannon. Switch hitting catcher Dave Ricketts on deck. Cepeda with 34 RBIs walking down the line from third. 2-2 pitch on the way. Curveball line to center. Oh, did he hang that one? So Cepeda comes in at 4-0 Cardinals. Big slow curve that just hung up around the shoulders, and Shannon hung it into center. So that makes it 4-0 Cardinals in the first inning. There's still no one in the bullpen. And the switch hitting Dave Ricketts coming up, batting left-handed against Don Sutton. So Shannon, who drove in 1 run to win the first game, drives in another to open up the second game. And here is Ricketts. Julian Javier on deck. Sutton's fastball is inside to Ricketts. Ball 1, 1-0. Pitch on the way. It's a ground ball to Hunt. He's in the hole to plug it up. He goes to Schofield. Back to Fairley for the double play. So 2 out, and Julian Javier will be the batter. Javier at the plate. 4-0 St. Louis here in the first inning. Sutton touched up for 2 walks and a base hit to load the bases, and then Cepeda unloaded them with a double, and Shannon single got him home. And now Javier hits a curveball into center field for a base hit. The curve is a curveball as far as its trajectory is concerned, but it's not that real good downer. And here's Dal Maxville. Maxville going all the way at short today after Eddie Bressu has played a couple of games. Sutton ready, delivers. Fastball is sliced to right field. Hickman coming to the line in the shade, on the run, makes the catch and foul ground. So 8 men come to the plate in the first inning, and the Cardinals get 4 of them home. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 left, and at the end of 1, the Cardinals 4, the Dodgers nothing.
Royal 76 gasoline is powerful enough to make a difference. Let me explain that difference. Union Oil blends 8 powerful fuels at the refinery in a precisely balanced blend to create Royal 76 Premium. An unbalanced blend just can't do the job, won't give you the starting power, the getaway power, the mileage of Royal 76. In a series of tests, Royal 76 proved it can outperform and outdistance unbalanced gasoline. Try Royal 76. It's powerful enough to make a difference.
Second inning, Cardinals 4, Dodgers nothing. For the Dodgers, trying to come back, Jimmy Lefebvre, Ron Fairley, and Jim Hickman. The Dodgers were down 7-3 in the 9th inning of the first game. Got 4 in the 9th. The 3-run home run by Lefebvre was the big blast, but then let it get away in the bottom of the 9th. And now they're behind 4-0 here in the second inning. Jackson into his windup. Alvin delivers fastball outside, ball 1, and he really eyeballed that one. He gave Frank Cicoria a double take and a long, long look. 1 ball, no strikes. Jackson comes back, and the pitch is lifted back to first and down the line. Slicing foul. Cepeda and Javier down there. One-handed by Cepeda. That's the second fine play on a twisting pop fly made by the Cardinals. Javier made one on Hunt. And now Cepeda makes one on Lefebvre, and Ron Fairley coming out. Jackson ready, and the pitch to Fairley. Curveball over for a strike, 0-1. The strike 1 pitch to Ron Fairley is a high fly ball into straightaway center. Bobby Tolan, sunglasses down, under it, and makes the second out. 2 down, Jim Hickman coming up. Jackson into his windup, and the pitch to Jim Hickman way out in front of a slow curve. 0-1. The pitch to Jim Hickman down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 out here in the second inning. The Cardinals winning the first game 8-7. It's leading in the second game 4-0 here in the second inning. Jackson into his windup, and the 1-1 pitch fastball rolled to third. Shannon backs up, gloves it at his eyes, throws in the dirt, and Cepeda can't come up with it, and Hickman is aboard. With 2 out, Jim Hickman aboard, and it'll be an error charge to Mike Shannon. The batter will be Dick Schofield. Schofield, starting at shortstop in the first game, had 2 hits and a walk. Jackson delivers, and it's a hit foul in the air off first base. Cepeda comes over, but no play. 0-1 to count. On deck, Jeff Torborg. Cardinals 4 runs, 4 hits, and 1 error. The Dodgers no runs, no hits here in the second. Hickman standing at first, held on by Cepeda. Jackson reading Ricketts. Now Alvin to his stretch. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jackson at the belt, 1-1 pitch. Fastball, pop foul again, out of play. 1-2. The count to Dick Schofield, hitting right-handed against Alvin Jackson. Hickman short lead at first. Now Jackson at the belt. The 1-2 pitch, low with a fastball. 2-2. Ricketts trying to set a target. Jackson picks off the sign that he wants, and the 2-2 pitch is taken outside. Ball 3. So Alvin Jackson has gone all the way to Schofield, and with 2 out, Hickman ready to go. Cardinals won the first ball game 8-7, and the Cardinals lead 4-0 in the second inning of the nightcap. There goes Hickman, and the pitch is fouled at the plate. But still 3-2. Full count. All right, Jackson with a new ball. Alvin to a stretch, looks at Hickman, checks. There goes Jim, and the pitch is low, ball 4. So the Dodgers have runners at first and second with 2 out, and Jeff Torborg, the batter. Torborg finished up behind the plate in the first game and singled in that wild 9th inning. He got as far as second, but might even have scored a bigger run, except the half swing was ruled against Hickman. So Jeff at the plate with 2 on, 2 out. Jackson delivers, fastball for a strike. On deck, Don Sutton. The bullpen is empty. That hot St. Louis sun coming down, and so the boys are sitting in the shade of the dugout. And with not a shortage of pitching, just the fact that pitching has been used up, it's up to Sutton for a while. The strike 1 pitch on the way is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the first inning, Brock walked, Tolan singled in the third, and then Bobby stole second. Maris walked to load the bases. Cepeda doubled everybody home. He took third on a high throw to the plate, and he scored on a single by Shannon. So it's 4-0 in favor of St. Louis here in the second inning. Jackson to a stretch, and the 1-1 pitch. Hit into left field for a base hit. Here's Hickman around third coming in to score. Schofield stops at second, and that makes it 4-1 St. Louis. The throw kicked around a little bit, but recovered by Mike Shannon, and the runner's holding at first and second. So Torborg is single to left. That gets Hickman in. Now Don Sutton, the batter. Sutton, right-hand hitter. Don has 5 hits this year, 2 of them doubles. No runs batted in. Jackson at the belt and delivers half swing on a fastball for a strike. 0-1. 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors for the Dodgers. The Cardinals won the first game 8-7. Jackson at the belt. Left-hander works the plate. Curveball lifted back to first and down the line. That might be trouble if it stays fair, and it drops foul by a foot. That would have got 2 home, but it's just a foul ball. So Sutton fouls one down in the Cardinal bullpen. Schofield goes back to second. Torborg to first, then Sutton back to the plate. 0-2 to Don. Right-hand hitter back up to the plate. Jackson set, checks the runners. Strike 2 pitch to Sutton is punched foul, grounded outside of first and down the line. So it's still 0-2. Four to 1 in favor of the Cardinals here in the second inning. Schofield swinging his arms as he takes the lead at second. Torborg at first. 2 out. Jackson reading Ricketts. Dave wigwagging signs out to him. Left-hander brushes the front of his uniform and goes to a stretch. The strike 2 pitch is hit over the head of Shannon to left field. Brock comes up, but it drops in front of him for a base hit. Schofield scores. Holding at second is Torborg, and that makes it 4-2 in favor of the Cardinals and brings up leadoff man Wes Parker. Parker hit back to the box in the first inning, 0 for 1. So the Dodgers cut the Cardinal lead in half. St. Louis 4, Dodgers 2. And here's Parker with Ron Hunt on deck. Jackson ready, delivers, and it's fouled away, 0-1. Parker looked like he might have been trying to go to right field. 0-1. You ought to see what the Cubs are doing at Wrigley Field, Chicago, and that's the next stop for the Dodgers. There's a line drive at Cepeda. So Parker hits a bullet at the first baseman, and that's that. At Wrigley Field, Chicago, in the second game of a doubleheader, in 6 innings, the Cubs have hit 6 home runs. They're leading the Mets 12-5. And adding up more home runs, it's at least 16-5 in favor of the Cubs. They beat the Mets in the first game, and that's our next stop. All right, the Dodgers get 2 runs on 2 hits and an error, leave 2 at the end of an inning and a half, 4-2 St. Louis, and here's Jerry.
Now let's announce those cash winners. Cash winning answers again on 76 Big Money Baseball. So get your Reuters cards ready. For $1, here's question number 1. The big Yankee Stadium is 460 feet in dead center. But how many feet does it measure down the right field foul line? The answer, 296 feet. Here's question number 2 for $5. For almost 20 years, two brothers known as Little and Big Poison played the outfield for Pittsburgh. What were their names? Correct answer number 2 is Lloyd and Paul Wainer. And here we go with the big one. Question number 3 for $1,000. What team joined the National League in 1962 and lost 120 games, winning only 40 in the season? The $1,000 answer is the New York Mets. Answer number 3, New York Mets on your card is worth $1,000. Each week there are more winning answers, so save your Reuters cards. They can win cash for you at any time. Now let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
And this is KOY Phoenix. Downtown temperature 90 degrees at 429.
All right, let's go back to play. Here's Ben.
All right, Jerry, pitcher Alvin Jackson will lead it off. Bottom of the second inning, 4-2 in favor of the Cardinals. The Jackson, Brock, and Tolan. Alvin, pretty good hitter. Lefebvre plays him up inside the bag at third. Sutton into his windup and delivers. Slow curve, fouled away, 0-1. See what Alvin has done this year with the bat. He has been to bat 16 times. Same old Jackson. He has 6 hits, 2 RBIs, hitting .375. He's a dandy. The Cubs are leading the Mets 16-5 in the 7th inning. They've hit a half a dozen home runs in a half a dozen innings. There's an extra base hit for Alvin Jackson up the alley in right center. He's on his way for 2. Hickman throw. He's in there. Alvin Jackson doubles up the alley in right center, and with nobody out, Brock, Tolan, and Maris. 4 runs and 5 hits for the Cardinals. We're in the 2nd inning. Ron Paranowski, Carol Berenger, the pitching coach, they get up and move around in the Dodger dugout, but no one has gone to the bullpen yet. Now, a group of fellows begin to stir, and Berenger takes the ball bag, and he and Paranowski and Johnny Roseborough go out of the dugout and go walking down towards the bullpen. So Sutton has just given up a double to Alvin Jackson, and here's Lou Brock. Down at the belt, ready and delivers. Fastball outside, ball 1, 1-0. Boy, it must be particularly discouraging for a youngster who starts out the sensation of the league last year, wins 12, then has arm trouble, winds up 12-12, and just can't find it at this stage of the following season. The 1-0 pitch to Brock, fastball swung on and missed, 1-1. And of course, also having all this trouble when he wanted a big year, and he'd be getting married in the fall. So there's a troubled young right-hander standing out there in the mound. Down in the bullpen, Ron Paranowski begins to loosen up. 1-1 to Lou Brock. Sutton at the belt, looks at Jackson. Back he comes. Fastball popped in the air on the right side. Fairly in the shadows. Comes over under it now and makes the catch for the first out. His curveball, which was his money pitch last year, has been the pitch that has really given him a bad time. And even Koufax had a lot of trouble out there with just one pitch. Here's Bob Tolan. Tolan singled to right in the first inning, stole second, and scored. He's had a big day. He's had a big week since he took over for the injured Kurt Flood. Flood pulled a hamstring, and Tolan has jumped in there without losing a beat. Curveball in at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Paranowski has stopped throwing now in the Dodger bullpen. 0-1 the count to Bobby Tolan. Sutton checks Jackson. Now down to the plate. Fastball inside under the elbows. 1-1. Frank Sikori makes a gesture with the right hand to indicate to Sutton the pitch was inside. Cardinals won the first game 8-7. They're leading 4-2 in the second inning of the second game. 1-1 pitch on the way. Change high. Ball 2, 2-1. The second changeup he's thrown, he threw a straight change 3-2 and walked Lou Brock in the first inning. Don straddling the rubber, now plants the right foot. 2-1. The count to Bobby Tolan. Fastball hit to right center field. Hickman going back and makes the catch. Jackson tags and scurries over to third. Hunt's relay to Lefebvre, not in time. So Tolan flies to right center. 2 out, and here is Roger Maris. Roger Maris has helped to beat Bob Miller 2 days running. His home run last night, and then his leadoff single in the bottom of the ninth of the first game today. So Maris with 2 out trying to pick up his pitcher, Jackson at third. Orlando Cepeda on deck. Sutton looks at third, now to his windup. Don ready and delivers. Fastball hit under it and popped it up on the right side. In foul ground goes fairly. He's got a room and a play, and he makes the catch for the out. So Maris fouls to Fairley. For the Cardinals, no runs ahead, a man left at third, and at the end of 2, Cardinals 4. Say, many motorists are not mechanically minded. They entrust the care of their car to someone they feel they can rely upon. Now, if you are knowledgeable about automobiles, why, you'll be the first to appreciate the thorough service you get with Union Oil 76 Auto Care. For only about $1 more than an ordinary lube job, you can buy peace of mind with 76 Auto Care. Along with a careful lubrication, trained experts check your radiators, fan belt, mufflers, steering mechanism, tires. In fact, 35 points in all that are necessary to the proper operation of your car. The work is certified to you in writing, and only Minutemen who have passed rigid tests in Union Oil 76 Auto Care Service are allowed to work on your car. So turn your car over to a real pro the next time you want it checked and lubed. Drive into your Union Oil station that displays the sign that reads 76 Auto Care, a certified service. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Dodgers as we go to the third inning. The Union Oil Company of California, happy to pay you a Sunday visit, and for more play-by-play, here's Jerry Dogger.
All right, Vinny, now Alvin Jackson, who was a base runner, is now on the mound warming up as the Dodgers start off with Hunt, Johnson, and Lefebvre. The Dodgers got 2 in the second, and the last foul was a line drive by Parker right at Cepeda, and that came with a couple men on. So now Ron Hunt will come up. Ron batting .286. He had 2 for 5 in the first game of the doubleheader. And the little left-hander, Alvin Jackson, ready to work. The Dodgers 2 runs were on her, and they followed an error in the walk, then with 2 singles. The Cardinals picked up 4 on 4 hits. The attendance today is 43,159. The third largest crowd of the season here at St. Louis. All right, ready to go, Alvin Jackson. And the first thing we'll do is have Sikori check the baseball, and he puts a new one to play. The shadows now are creeping across the diamond. First base in the shade, catcher's area, and, of course, home plate in the shade. And the line is almost to the pitcher's mound. So the shadows, as the sun begins to go down, it's 25 minutes to 6 here in St. Louis. Ron Hunt stepping up. The Dodgers down by 2. Here's the wind-up man. The pitch by Jackson. Fastball low, 1 ball and no strike. At the moment, Jackson is in the sun. The hitter is in the shade, so the ball's coming out of the sun to the batter. And it might be just a little tough to pick it up for a little while. In another inning or so, the pitcher's mound will be completely in shadow. Here's the wind-up man. The pitch to Hunt. Line drive base hit to left field, so the Dodgers are after Jackson again. He got the start out in the first inning, but they've been after him ever since that. Here's Lou Johnson coming up, tapped out to the pitcher first time up. Lou at bat. The Cardinals got 4 runs in the first inning off John Sutton, and the Dodgers, who came back with 4 runs in the 9th inning of the first game only to lose, are now trying to climb another 4-run obstacle. Johnson at bat. Hunt is on. Boy, Ron's had a good road trip with the bat. Johnson takes the strike on the outside part of the plate, 0-1. Ron Hunt at first base. That is hit number 3 for the Dodgers. The Cardinals have 5 off Sutton. On deck is Lefevre. Jackson ready in the pitch to Johnson. Swung and pop foul out of play. And the count is strike 2 to Lou. Lou making his first start since April the 27th. But he is actually about a month sooner than the Dodgers expected him. They figured it'd be at All-Star time before Lou was in the lineup. And here he is now on the 12th of June. Strike 2 to Johnson. Here's the look and here's the pitch. Outside with the fastball, 1-2. Lou, since coming back, of course, was a pinch hitter in Atlanta, hit a home run. Was robbed of a base hit in the first game when he hit a line drive at shortstop, a leaping catch by Maxwell, and that would have gotten a run in and would have been a big run in the game as it turned out. 1-2 count now. Lou waits the pitch on the way to him. Swung on and missed for a strike. Down he goes. Looks like a fastball moving away from the right-hand batter. Strikeout number 1 for Jackson, and here's Lefevre. His home run in the 9th inning of the first game tied the score. Jimmy 1 for 5, a 288 average, and 25 runs batted in. And the home run was only his second of the year, so Jimmy trying to catch up in the home run output. On at first base, Hunt with 1 out now in the 3rd inning. The Cardinals have the infield set, double play depth. Now the pitch on the way, outside and low, 1 ball, no strike. A fastball. Seems when Lefevre's batting from the right side, they try to work the fastball to him on the outside part of the plate. All right, Jackson set again. Ball game in the 3rd. Second game of the doubleheader. Jackson ready, and the pitch on the way. Too high for a ball, and the count goes 2 balls, no strike. Jackson has walked 1, struck out 1, allowed 3 hits. The RBIs go to Torborg and Sutton, 3 for Cepeda, and 1 for Cannon. Cannon's had a big day in RBIs. He's had 6 already, 3 in each game. Here's a pitch outside, ball 3. Let's correct that. Cannon has had 3 in the first game, 1 in this game for 4. And Cepeda had 3 in this game. Ball 3, no strikes to Jimmy Lefevre. Ron Fairley on deck and Jim Hickman to follow. So Jackson now in a little trouble. Alvin has won 4, lost 2, but his earned run average is over 5. So he has had his problems this year, despite a winning record. Now the 3-0 pitch, way high, ball 4. He walked him, and the Dodgers have the tying runs on. Second walk, no action in the Cardinal bullpen. But Jackson has been just a little bit shaky here in the last couple of innings. Ron Fairley at bat, slide to center field his first time up. Ron in the first game had 2 hits, a double and a single, and was robbed twice. A good running catch by Maris and another one by Tolan. Now Romano gets up to go to the bullpen, and we'll have some action down there in just a moment. As Jackson appears to be in a little trouble here in the 3rd inning. The Cardinals got him 4 runs in the first. The Dodgers have 2 of those back and have 2 on now. And Fairley trying to move them around. Here's the look, and Jackson's pitch to Ron is high and inside. Ball 1, and control is the problem. Pitch and a pop-up on the left side at third base. Cannon coming in now. Now the shortstop Maxwell gets in line on it and makes the catch for the out. So Fairley pops up to short, 2 down. We were listening to an announcement over the loudspeaker. In the game at Chicago in the doubleheader, Phillips had a home run in the first game. He's had 3 in the second game and will be the 3rd batter up in the 8th inning for the Cubs. And if he gets that one, he would tie a National League record of 4 home runs in a doubleheader. Make it 5 home runs. He's had 3 now. Here's the look now, and the pitch on the way. Pulling a drive to left center field is going to be in there for a base hit and all the way through. Rolling over to cut it off, can't. Here's Lefebvre around third. He'll score to tie the ball game on a double by Hickman to left center field. And the Dodgers have evened it up as Hickman lines a double to left center. And they've caught up after spotting the Cardinals 4 runs in the first inning. So Jim Hickman doubles. Hunt and Lefebvre score easily, and the batter now will be Dick Schofield. So we've got a brand new one again, all even at 4-4. Well, the Dodgers have lost 6 in a row, but I'll tell you one thing. They've been gone down fighting every time except once. And here they are now, locked up again. 3rd inning, and time call. Pitching coach Billy Muffett going to the mound to talk to Jackson. The mound is over now. Muffett coming back. The Dodgers now have Hickman on second base. Dick Schofield the batter. Schofield in the first game had 2. In this game he has walked. Here's the look now, and the pitch on the way. A ground ball to third base. Up with it is Shannon, and he throws crosses in time, and the side is retired. Schofield grounds out, but the Dodgers pick up 2 runs to get caught up. There were 2 hits, and 1 man left on. So the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play, Cardinals 4 and the Dodgers have 4. Okay? Get your Reuters card ready, because here we go again with 76 big money baseball. For $1, here's question number 1. The big Yankee Stadium is 460 feet in dead center. But how many feet does it measure down the right field line? The answer, 296 feet. Here's question number 2 for $5. For almost 20 years, 2 brothers known as Little and Big Poison played the outfield for Pittsburgh. What were their names? Correct answer number 2 is Lloyd and Paul Weiner. And here we go with the big one. Question number 3 for $1,000. What team joined the National League in 1962 and lost 120 games, winning only 40 in the season? The $1,000 answer is the New York Mets. Answer number 3, New York Mets on your card is worth $1,000. Each week there are more winning answers, so save your Reuters cards. They can win you cash at any time. Checking it up at Chicago, our ticker was out when the Phillips hit his first home run in that second game. That came in the 3rd with 2 on. He had 1 in the 5th inning and 1 in the 6th. That's 4 in the doubleheader. He had 1 in the first game. All right, last half of the 3rd, our ball game all even at 4-4. As Orlando Cepeda comes up, he doubled in the left field to drive in 3 runs in the first inning. So as the Cubs now bat in the last half of the 8th inning, Adolfo Phillips will be the batter, the 3rd man up as we understand it. Here's the windup and the pitch. A little high. We gave you 6 home runs in 6 innings a while ago, and since we missed that one, they make 7 in the first 6 innings. The Cubs have had. And they lead 16-5 over the Mets in the second game. They won the first game 5-3. Here's Sutton's pitch to Cepeda. Fastball, it's in for a strike, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cepeda. Shannon on deck, and Ricketts to follow. So Don Sutton, who had a bad first inning, gets a new start in this ball game. See if he can handle the reprieve. Fastball is outside ball 2, and it's 2-1. One is the count. Now the pitch on the way. strike called. It's 2-2 to Cepeda. Sutton into the windup again, and the curveball is swung at top foul out of play. Count 2-2 to Orlando Cepeda. Score tied 4-4. They're in the last half of the eighth inning at Cincinnati in the second game, and it is 4-2 in favor of Houston. And Houston won the first game 7-4. And as we told you, the Cubs beat New York in the first game 5-3. They're playing in the last half of the eighth inning with a score 16-5 in favor of Chicago. But the question now will be Adolfo Phillips. See if he'll hit another home run. There's a swing and a pop foul down the first baseline out of play. And it is still a 2-2 count. Atlanta beat San Francisco 4-3 in 10 innings. Philadelphia beat Pittsburgh 14-1. We're in touch with Chicago now, and Adolfo Phillips is at bat right now. Here's a swing and a foul out of play. And the story goes kaput as Adolfo Phillips at bat right now hits a line drive single, and I doubt if he'll get the bat again because the Cubs have an 11-run lead, and Phillips lined his single. So that took care of his day, but it wasn't a bad day anyway. There's a high pop foul off third going down the line and back out of play. Phillips had 3 home runs in, and the third with 2 on, fifth with 1 on, and the sixth with none on. Hundley had 2 home runs. Santo and Banks each had a home run. Then he was on the phone with Chicago broadcasters, and one of the great home run hitters of all time relayed the message of the single, Ralph Kiner, broadcasting for the Mets. Okay. Here's the pitch on the way. Cepeda half swing, and he foul tipped it away. All right, Sutton bounced one off the bat. Cepeda waiting, 2-2 the count. With the Mets being clobbered in New York, then he passes on the items. When Kiner answered the phone, he says, "This is the best news, the best thing that's happened to me all day today." I've got a friendly voice from California. Pitch is low for a ball. 3-2 to Cepeda. Sutton, even in the game, 4-4, and now trying to get started all over again. Don was racked in the first innings for 4 runs and 4 hits, gave up another hit in the second. Now working 3-2 to Cepeda. They're in the ninth inning at Cincinnati. The Reds picked up another one, and it's now 4-3 with the Astros batting. Here's ball 4, and Cepeda draws a walk. So Cepeda walks the third walk from Sutton, who normally has pretty good control. Don has not struck out a batter. He has walked 3, and now Mike Shannon is the batter. He singled a drive in a run in the first, drove in 3 runs in the first game. Pitch to Shannon. Fastball low, 1 ball and no strike. In the second game at Cincinnati, Zielinski, relieved by Sombrera in the 8th inning. Ellis Lee in the 4th, Pappas in the 9th inning for Cincinnati. First game went to Pappas, was the loser, and Cuellar was the winner. So Pappas back in the second game. There's a ground ball to shortstop. Down to second one. On to first base. And it is not in time. Fairley had to come off the bag to take the throw from Hunt. So Shannon grounds into a force out. Schofield to Ron Hunt. And the batter now will be the catcher, Dave Ricketts, who grounded into a double play his first time up. Ricketts, a left-hand hitter. 1 out here in the 3rd inning. tied at 4-4 in the second game of the doubleheader. The Cardinals won the first game 8-7, getting a run in the ninth inning to win it. Ricketts at bat with one out, Cannon on first base, and Sutton ready to work. Pitching mound in the shadows now. Tigers lead the Angels 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth inning. And Fregosi has tied it up with a home run. There's a swing and a drive hit the right center field and deep. Going for it, Parker over his head, going to the wall. Cannon's at third, around third, headed home, and he scores on a double by Ricketts to right center field. Mike Shannon scoring as Ricketts hits a double into right center, and Ron Paranowski goes down to the Dodger bullpen now. Don Sutton got behind by 4. The Dodgers caught up for him, and he couldn't hold it. Now he's behind again, and here's Javier, who singled his first time up. So Sutton is really struggling here today. He's won 3 and lost 7, so he's having quite a tough season so far. There's a foul right back up here, off to our right. Strike 1 to Javier. That is the 6th hit off Sutton, 3 doubles and 3 singles. Boy, that ball was hit hard and a long way into right center field by the catcher Dave Ricketts. There's a pop-up into center field. Coming up fast is Parker, and makes a nice running catch for the ball for the out. So Javier pops out into short center field, and we have a correction on the home run by Fregosi from Anaheim. Western Union sends the correction through, and we're apologizing now because that came with 2 men on to win the ball game. We'll have the totals in a little bit. All right, 2 outs, and Maxwell is the batter. So first they sent through home run Fregosi in the ninth. Then they sent home run Fregosi in the ninth, 2 on, corrected. And that's enough to win it. That should make it 6-4. That should a final score. Here's the pitch. Maxwell takes low, and it's ball 2. 2 balls, no strike.
Serving Arizona, this is KOY Phoenix. It's 5:01.
So the Angels pull that one out. Here's the pitch. Lined in the right field. Hickman fading back, makes the catch, and the side retires. Boy, Maxwell's been an automatic out to right field today. That's the second time this game. And he went out 3 times in the first game. Side out in the third. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. And the score at the end of 3, the Cardinals 5 and the Dodgers 4. Now let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
And this is KOY Phoenix, 3 minutes after 5, 90 degrees downtown.
Okay, to the 4th inning for the Union Oil Company. More play back again to Vin Scully. Vinny?
All right, Jerry. Alvin Jackson pitching to Jeff Torborg, Don Sutton, and Wes Parker. And the lights are being turned on here in St. Louis. There's plenty of sunshine in the outfield and shortstop and at the rim back of third. But home plate and the mound in shadows, and they need a little help in that area. Jackson ready and delivers, and the pitch to Torborg is low. Ball 1. 5-4 Cardinals, 4th inning of the second game. Jackson's 1-0 pitch on the way. Torborg takes a look. That's a strike. 1-1. 1-1 the count to Jeff. Single to left field to drive in a run in the second inning. Or actually, he didn't drive it in. He set it up and Sutton singled it in. Jeff takes inside, ball 2. 2-1. Alvin Jackson back with a curve and is fisted on the ground to third. Up with it is Mike Shannon to throw him out. The scoreboard jammed with a curveball and rolls to third. 1 out. That'll bring up Don Sutton, who's single to left. 1 for 1. The Dodgers fly to Chicago immediately after the ball game. It'll be a rather late arrival with this lengthy doubleheader, but they're off tomorrow. And then open up Tuesday with the Cubs. Chicago decimating the Mets today. 5-3 and 17-5 in the 9th inning. Don Sutton takes a strike, 0-1. Back comes Alvin Jackson with a fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jerry Grody has just hit a home run for the Mets in the 9th inning with 1 on. You know how many home runs it means have been hit in the National League today? 22. It seems like all of them at Chicago. The 1-1 pitch swung on and missed, strike 2. It's going to add up all the home runs in that doubleheader at Chicago. There have been 11 home runs hit in the doubleheader. That's not so much. Phillips hit 4. 1-2. Fastball, a comebacker. Jackson spears it, turns, and flips to Cepeda. So we have 2 out here in the 4th. And Wes Parker, the batter. Parker hit back to the box, line to first. 0 for 2. Cardinals leading by 1 run, and that's usually bad news for the opposing club. The Cardinals have won 12 of 17 this year by 1 run. So Parker at the plate, Ron Hunt on deck, 2 out, 4th inning. Cardinals 5, Dodgers 4. The Union Oil Company of California spending Sunday with you. Jackson delivers high to Parker, ball 1. Jackson, left foot on the rubber, reading Dave Ricketts' signs. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, 1-1. The big game is in Cincinnati right now. They're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Houston 3 outs away from sweeping the league leaders. However, those 3 outs can be awfully tough to come by, particularly in Crosley Field. 1-1 pitch on the way. Parker strokes it to center, sinking at the feet of Bobby Tolan for a base hit. So Parker, a 2-out single to center, and the batter will be Ron Hunt. Houston beat Cincinnati 7-4 in the first game. Cuellar over Pappas. The second game, they're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Carol Cimbera, that pencil-thin right-hander, relieved Volinsky. Cimbera is pitching to the Reds. 4-3 Houston, bottom of the 9th. Here's Ron Hunt, popped up and singled, 1 for 2. Jackson at the bell, checks Parker, and the pitch to Hunt, taken inside, ball 1. 1-0. Five runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the Cardinals. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Dodgers in the 4th. Don't forget to play 76 Big Money Baseball with us again next Sunday. Ron Hunt takes the strike. We'll give you the answers again after the 3rd out here, and then if you miss them for one reason or another, well, you can check at your local participating Union Oil station. The answers will be posted there. You can win anywhere from $1 to $1,000. 1-1, the count to Ron Hunt. 2 out, 4th inning. Cardinals 5, Dodgers 4. 43,000 in the park today. Big house. Third largest crowd of the year. 1-1. And Hunt lifts it foul off first out of play. 1-2. Because of the rain last night, they just fell short of the 100,000 for the 3 days. And they would have had it easily had it not been for the tornado warning right at game time last night. 1-2 pitch on the way, low, ball 2, 2-2. So for the 3 days, they drew about 97,000 here. 2-2 the count to Ron Hunt. Parker at first, 2 out, 4th inning, 5-4 St. Louis. Jackson reading his signs. Now he's ready. Parker goes, and the pitch is hit to the hole. The base hit to left, so West just keeps on going and advances to third on a hit-and-run single by Ron Hunt. For Hunt, his second hit in this game and his 4th hit in the doubleheader. Well, Carol Sembera has been relieved by Dan Schneider in the 9th inning for Houston. It might be a percentage move by Grady Hatton, but it's a cinch somebody's doing something there at Crosley Field. So Dan Schneider has relieved Carol Sembera in the 9th. Houston leading Cincinnati 4-3. Lou Johnson takes low, ball 1. Lou is 0 for 2. Hit back to the box and struck out. Bob Johnson has just hit a home run for the Mets in the 9th inning with the man aboard. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed 1-1. That makes it 10 home runs. Count up. There have been 12 home runs in that doubleheader between the Mets and the Cubs, and this one is the 10th hit in the second game. Bob Johnson, a 2-run home run after Jerry. Yeah, I bet the wind must be blowing out. I mean, it's got to be going 100 miles an hour. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Grounded foul outside of third. 12 home runs in a doubleheader. 10 in one game. I guess we better dig around in the record book just to see how close that is. But we'll have to wait a while with all these scores pouring in. In fact, if we can... get the book, we'll just thumb through it. 1-2 to Lou Johnson. 2 out, 2 on, 4th inning. 5-4 Cardinals. Jackson's pitch is half swing, strike 3. Pitch was outside. Johnson tried to hold up, couldn't do it. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. At the end of 3.5 innings, 5-4 St. Louis. Well, friends, you've heard Union Oil's Royal 76 gasoline described as powerful enough to make a difference. Let me explain that difference. It comes from a blend of 8 powerful fuels precisely balanced at the Union Oil refinery. An unbalanced blend just can't get the job done. Won't give you the starting power, the getaway power, or the mileage power of Royal 76. Yes, Royal 76 Premium is the most perfect blend for total performance that Union Oil has ever put together. Try Royal 76. It's powerful enough to make a difference. In case you missed the 76 Big Money Baseball winning answers earlier today, here they are again. Answer number 1 for $1, 296 feet. That's 296. Answer number 2 worth $5, Lloyd and Paul Waynard. Lloyd and Paul Waynard for $5. And the big $1,000 answer, number 3, the New York Mets. The New York Mets. Well, get more Reuters cards from your participating Union Oil dealer and be sure to save them. They could win you cash at a later date, even if you didn't have a winning answer today. Here's another big winner in Union Oil's Big Money Baseball, $1,000 in cash to Miss Antonia Moed of Panorama City. Looking at the record for the most home runs in a doubleheader for both clubs, and there have been 12 hit at Wrigley Field, Chicago today. In the National League, 15. Imagine 15 home runs in a doubleheader. Guess where that game was played? You're right, Chicago. It involved the Milwaukee Braves with 9 and the Cubs with 6. American League record, 14 home runs in a doubleheader. That was at Philadelphia back in 1930 when they had that jackrabbit ball. In fact, May of 1930, that would be Little Baker Bowl. And the Yankees hit 9 there, and the A's 5. Strike one pitch on the way is outside, 1-1. Scratch that Baker Bowl thing, of course, American League. So that would be at Connie Mack Stadium, or Jive Park as it was. The pitch is high and goes to the backstop. Jackson Ball 2, 2-1. So anyway, they've hit 12 home runs at Wrigley Field in the doubleheader, and the record is 15. Would you believe that Don Pavletic has just hit a pinch hit grand slam home run at Crosley Field? And the Reds get a split. There's a fly ball to Parker in right center, and he makes the catch. How do you like that one? The Reds, on the edge of losing a doubleheader, down 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth. And Don Pavletic hits a grand slam home run. I guess he hit it against Dan Snyder. We don't have anything coming over the wire yet on it, but Jim Toomey, who was in close touch, said Pavletic hit it as a pinch hitter, a grand slammer, and the last pitcher we had heard pitching was Schneider, so we assumed that Dan served it up. Brock bunts to the right of the mound, but it's flagged by Sutton, who underhands to Fairley, and that's the second out. So, boy, we've had a lot going on today. Adolfo Phillips hitting 4 home runs in a doubleheader. And in his last shot to try and time Musial's mark of 5 in a doubleheader, he singled. A pinch hit grand slam home run by Don Pavletic to give the Reds a split with Houston. And the Cubs wind up holding off the Mets. The second game, the Cubs 18 and the Mets 10. After the Cubs had won the first game 5-3. Winning pitcher Hartenstein, the losing pitcher Wilhite. The pitch to Bobby Tolan over first right, 1-1. 2 down here in the 4th inning. 5-4 in favor of the Cardinals. The Cardinals won the first ball game 8-7. Sutton's slow curve is grounded back at first to Fairley, who whirls and flips to Sutton, covering for the out. So the Cardinals are out in the 4th at the end of 4, 5-4 St. Louis, and here's Jerry.
The first half of today's game brought to you by the Union Oil Company of California, the company that brings you America's strongest tire warranty, the Insured Tire Warranty. The second half brought to you by Packard Bell, master craftsman of fine TV, color TV, and stereo, and to the Packard Bell dealers throughout the West. Get the mail order habit while the Dodgers are out here on the road. For the great homestand coming up, Reds, Braves, Cards, Giants, send your orders to the Dodgers, Box 100, Los Angeles 90051. Box seats $350, reserve seats $250. Add 25 cents to your check or money order for handling and mailing. If you want a block of tickets, 30 or more, send orders to Group Sales, Dodgers, Box 100, Los Angeles 90051. And remember to ask that the name of your group be put up on the Dodgers' famous message board. We're happy to give that added distinction to your party visit. 5-4 in favor of the Cardinals as we go to play now in the 5th inning, second game of the doubleheader, and rapidly all the other games are winding up. Let's go right back to the action here, and here again is Vinny.
All right, Jerry. For the Dodgers, down by 1, they'll have Jimmy Lefevre, Ron Fairley, and Jim Hickman. Lefevre hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning to give the Dodgers a tie in the first game. But then Shannon's double got Maris home to give the Cardinals the victory. In the second game, Lefevre has fouled out and walked. So Jim 0 for 1. checked in against Alvin Jackson. Jackson standing in an archway of light out there on the mound. And the first pitch to Lefevre swung on and missed, 0-1. We have not received any report over Western Union as yet about Pavletic's Grand Slammer. We're going strictly by Jim Toomey's word. The pitch to Lefevre, slow curve, missed, 1-1. There might be a little pandemonium over there in Cincinnati, taking it a while to get on the wire. 1-1 to Jim Lefevre. Jimmy takes a look at the next one that misses, ball 2. 2-1. Phil Regan gets up in the Dodger bullpen and will begin to loosen up to Jimmy Campanis. The next one is looped over the head of Maxwell and drops into center field for a base hit. Bobby Tolan gets it back in, the 7th Dodger hit. And the batter will be Ron Fairley. To 4 in favor of the Cardinals. 5th inning. Fairley slides to center and pops to short. Washington beat the Red Sox 8-7 in the second game after Boston beat Washington 4-3 in the first game. There's a little looper short hop by Javier who flips to first to get Fairley. Down to second base goes Lefevre. Boston that time scared Washington. It was 8-4 in favor of Washington, and the Red Sox got 3 in the ninth, but still fell short. Jim Hickman aboard on an errand double coming up. Hickman, right-hand hitter, going in right field. Lefevre, the tying run at second base, waiting to be picked up with 1 out. Jackson on the rubber, set at the belt, and Alvin delivers, and it's swung on and missed, 0-1. Hickman backs out, dries off his hands. Dick Schofield on deck. Jackson leading Dave Ricketts sign. Now he's ready. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Just outside and low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Looks like Alvin turned that one over so that it acted somewhat like a screwball. 1-1 the count. Ron Willis loosening up, a right-hander in the Cardinal bullpen. The White Sox won a doubleheader from the Yankees, 2-1 and 3-2. The Yankees got 2 in the bottom of the ninth, but not enough. The pitch to the hitter Hickman is over for a strike, 1-2. The attendance for the doubleheader at New York with the Chicago White Sox, 63,373. 63,000. 1-2 the count to Jim Hickman. Jackson checking with Ricketts. Lefevre off second base. 1 out. Jackson at the belt, and the 1-2 pitch on the way is a one-hopper hit right at the third baseman. A bluff by Shannon to second, and he throws to first, and Cepeda just did stay on the bag in time. He came off it, but it was ruled that he was on it for that split second necessary. So Hickman out sharply to Shannon to Cepeda. Lefevre holding, and with 2 out, Dick Schofield the batter. Schofield walked and grounded out 0 for 1. Well, we get the report from Cincinnati that the Reds scored 5 times in the bottom of the ninth to beat Houston 8-4. They haven't yet told us that Pavletic hit a grand slammer. Crowd reacting, a fan sitting on the fence in center field, and plate umpire Sikori waved until the boy got back into the seat. The winning pitcher, Pappas. The losing pitcher, Sambera. But that's an important thing to leave out, a pinch hit grand slam home run. Okay, here is Schofield for a strike, 0-1. It's like Jimmy Fregosi, when we got a home run in the ninth inning to tie, and then they sent a correction. No, he hit it with 2 men on to win it. So Schofield at the plate. 2 out, 5th inning, 5-4 Cardinals. Dick is walked and grounded out, 0 for 1. Pitch curveball is lifted foul back of the plate and into the lower deck. To the deck. Jeff Torborg waiting on deck. Second game at Kansas City is still very much alive. Cleveland won the first game 12-1, and they're even 2-2 with Kansas City in the bottom of the 4th at the nightcap. Mil Pappas split a doubleheader. He was the losing pitcher in the first game to Houston. He got the victory in the second game. Pitch to Schofield is outside. How close it was. Dave Ricketts almost rolled that ball back to the mound. 1-2 the count to Dick Schofield. Dick going all the way at shortstop today. He had 2 hits in the first game. A walk, grounded out in the nightcap. 1-2 to Dick. Jackson set at the belt, checks Lefevre, delivers, and the fastball is lined at Javier. So Javier handles the line drive by Schofield, and the Dodgers leave Lefevre at second base. No runs ahead, a man left, and at the end of 4.5 innings, the score, the Cardinals 5, the Dodgers 4. Bottom of the 5th inning, 5-4 Cardinals, 5 runs, 6 hits, and an error. Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. Don Sutton and Alvin Jackson. For the Cardinals, Roger Maris, Orlando Cepeda, and Mike Shannon. Crowd kind of quiet right now. A lot of folks have headed for the hills. They've seen a lot of baseball today. The Cardinals winning the first game 8-7 in over 3 hours. And the second game, we're in the bottom of the 5th. And local time here, it's getting to supper. 6:30 coming up here in St. Louis. Roger Maris walked, fouled out. He's 0 for 1. Don Sutton ready to go to work. Right-handed delivers. Maris takes a look, and the fastball is inside. 4-1. 1-0. Cardinals scored 4 in the first. The Dodgers got him back with 2 in the second, 2 in the third. Maris fouls a pitch away. And then the Cardinals got a run in the bottom of the third to recapture the lead. 4-3. Now 5-4. Cardinals out in front. They won the first game 8-7. Dodgers trying to snap a 6-game losing streak. After winning the first game on the road trip, 4-2. Pitch to Roger Maris, low. 2-1 the count. Sutton throws the rubber. Maris waiting. Now Don's 2-1 pitch to Maris. Fastball, pop foul, back of the plate and out of play. 2-2 to Raj. Cepeda with a double and a walk on deck. Sutton reading signs. Don rocks into his windup, and the 2-2 pitch. Fastball belted to right, hooking, however, and going foul. Now about 10 feet into the seat. Pulled it too much. 2-2 to Rogers. on the rubber, into his windup, 2-2 pitch. Fastball and over, strike 3 call. So Maris caught looking strikes out. We'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
Serving Arizona, this is KOY Phoenix, 529. The temperature 90 degrees, humidity 15%.
That strikeout of Roger Maris by Don Sutton is Don's first strikeout of the day. And here is Cepeda, doubled and walked, 1 for 1. Sutton into his windup. Don to the plate, fastball off the outside corner, ball 1. Packard Bell sending you the picture from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Now the 1-0 pitch to Cepeda. Fastball hit off the end of the bat, foul to the right of the plate and going well back out of play in the second deck. 43,159 on hand today for the doubleheaders. And they might have had more. Trouble was, there's just bad weather all around this area that the weatherman was making dire predictions. And an awful lot of people, I'm sure, decided to stay home. And it turned out to be a beautiful day. The pitch outside, ball 2, 2-1. Last night they had 30,000, but they had tornado warnings all around town. In fact, there was a small tornado yesterday that was heading straight towards the ballpark. Fortunately, it veered off, but that's not going to help people make up their minds to come. There's a line drive up the alley in left center. Johnson chasing it to the wall. Cepeda goes into second base, standing with a long double. It's the third double for the Cardinals and the second double for Cepeda. And the batter will be Mike Shannon. So each side with 7 hits, but the Cardinals leading 5-4. Shannon has singled and hit into a force play. Mike Shannon, right-hand hitting third baseman, with Dave Ricketts, the switch-hitting catcher, on deck. Sutton comes to the plate. Fastball low and away. Ball 1. Don Sutton has 56 strikeouts in 87 innings. Last year, he struck out over 200. The 1-0 pitch on the way, low and outside, ball 2. Don with 1 strikeout today. He was in a lot of trouble in the first inning, gave up 4 runs, but the Dodger hitters got him back in the game. Then he surrendered a run in the third to break the tie. Now he's trying to stay close. He is due to bat second when the Dodgers hit in the 6th, and Phil Regan throwing back of him. Young Don ready, looks at second, the 2-0 pitch, fastball, line drive, base hit to left. Charging it is Johnson. Here comes Cepeda. Here's Lou's throw to the plate, cut off by Lefebvre, and they've got Shannon hung up. Lefebvre to Fairley, Fairley to Hunt, Hunt chasing him back to Fairley, and Fairley tags him out. However, the run is long home, and it is 6-4 Cardinals. And for Shannon, his second hit and his second RBI. If you are keeping score, the rundown play went 7-5 to 3 to 4 to 3. 7-5, 3-4-3. All right, 2 down. And the batter, Dave Ricketts, who hit into a double play and doubled. He's 1 for 2. Switch hitter batting left-handed. Cardinals 6. Dodgers 4 in the 5th inning. Dick Egan joins Phil Regan. So the firm of Egan and Regan open for business down there in the Dodger bullpen. And the pitch to Dave Ricketts, down and away. Ball 1. 6-4 Cardinals in the 5th. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball fouled away. 1-1. Jeff Trauborg On that last swing by Ricketts, shaken up on the foul tip, stuffs that right hand in his pocket to try and forget it. 1-1 to count. The Reds winning a big second game. They were on the ropes, but they beat the Astros to get a split. 1 ball, 1 strike to Dave Ricketts. Sutton into his windup. 1-1 pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, and Ricketts, angry, backs out of there. Dave Ricketts was an excellent basketball star at Duquesne University several years ago. He's from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and lives in Rochester. He had a great season last year at Tulsa, where he hit .327. He's been playing pro ball since 1957. 1-2 pitch, curveball got him looking, and Ricketts walks away in disgust. For the Dodgers in the 5th inning, they surrender a run on 2 hits. And the score at the end of 5, the Cardinals 6, the Dodgers 4.
Say, you know how the catcher signals for the pitch he wants? Well, that's the way Packard Bell remote control works. Give your Packard Bell color TV the signal, and it comes right back with the picture you want. Turn the set on and off, change channels, adjust the volume, even tune the color. All from your favorite chair. The nicest part is you don't have to buy remote control when you buy the set. You can add it anytime. Packard Bell calls it remote control ready. Say you buy a color TV and later on you want remote. If you bought a remote control ready set, controls can be added in your home in just a few minutes, but only with Packard Bell. So stop in and see remote control ready color TV at your Packard Bell dealer. Just give him the signal. He'll give you the picture. You can tell it's a Packard Bell. It's remote control ready.
Inning, 6-4 Cardinals. For the Dodgers, Jeff Torborg. Then we'll see about Sutton or a hitter, and Wes Parker. Jeff Torborg, single to left and grounded to third. So Torborg 1 for 2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Ron Pernoski loosening up. Pernoski worked an inning and 2/3 of the first game. Ground crew cleaned off the infield and we're ready. In the 6th, 6-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Jackson ready to pitch to Torborg. Foul back to the screen, 0-1. Six runs, 8 hits, and 1 error for St. Louis. 4 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. In the 6th. Ricketts in a crouch back of the plate, flashing out his signs. Torborg backed out. Now Jeff up at the plate again. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball outside. 1-1. One pitch, fouled at the plate. 1-2 to Jeff. Don Sutton went 5 innings, and now Nate Oliver comes out on deck, so Sutton has had it. Don allowed 6 runs, 8 hits, struck out 2, walked 3. 1-2 pitch on the way. Curveball grounded to third baseman Shannon. Mike is up with it. Cross to Cepeda in time for the out. The Torborg hits the curveball to Shannon, 1 away, and now Nate Oliver will hit for Sutton. The Dodgers in the first ball game used Lou Johnson as a pinch hitter. He lined out. Jim Hickman as a pinch hitter. He flied to right. Al Ferrara and Bob Bailey, and they both struck out. to see how the first pinch hitter used in the second game does, Nate Oliver. Ollie hitting .391. Jackson delivers, and the fastball over at the knees for a strike. 0-1. No balls, one strike to Nate Oliver. Alvin Jackson comes back and is a one-hopper hit through into left field for a base hit. So Oliver singles to left with one out in the sixth, and the Cardinals leading 6-4. The Dodgers 8 hits. Wes Parker hit back to the box, lined out to first base, and singled to center. West 1 for 3. On the rubber, looks over at Nate Oliver, comes to the plate, and the fastball is drilled to right field, but Maris back in the shadows makes the catch for the out. And Oliver returns to first base. Ron Willis still throwing in the Cardinal bullpen, and Ron Hunt will be the batter. 43,159 out here for the Sunday doubleheader. The Dodgers moving to Chicago, and the Windy City must be exactly that today. There were a dozen home runs hit in the doubleheader between the Mets and the Cubs. That's still 3 shy of the record of 15 hit in the doubleheader at Chicago. Jackson looks over at first. Now Alvin delivers, and the fastball is hit to left field and deep. Back goes Brock, away back on the track. This one high off the wall. Retrieved by Tolan. Here is Oliver coming to the plate. Maxville's throw is not in time on a long double by Hunt, and he missed by a couple of feet of tying up the game. Hunt hit the wall 386 feet away. If he had pulled it a little more, he's even. And Billy Muffett going out, and it looks like that's going to be all for Alvin Jackson. Right-hand Lou Johnson coming up, and right-hand pitcher Ron Willis in the bullpen. So Ron Hunt booms a double off the left field fence. 9 hits and 5 runs off Alvin Jackson. For Ron Hunt, his 3rd hit of the second game and 5 hits in the doubleheader. And Ron Willis coming in for Alvin Jackson. So Jackson leaves, having pitched the required number of innings to earn a victory. He leaves with a 1-run lead. However, the potential tying run is his responsibility at second base. So Alvin could win it, or he could have nothing to do with it. The only comfort and solace to him since he's been KO'd is the thought that he can't lose it. So Ron Willis will pick up for Alvin Jackson, and the Christmas boy slowly comes off the field. Jackson went 5 2/3. Gave up 9 hits, at least 5 runs, walked 2, struck out 2. And Ron Willis, who is a converted outfielder, will try and bail him out. Jerry, do you have a proclamation?
Well, Western Union was tardy, but nevertheless finally got it through.
The Mule trade got through.
In their summary, they finally acknowledged that Don Pavlik hit a home run with the bases full over in Cincinnati. That's the first word we'd had. And we've been sitting here waiting, and had not the Cardinal ballpark been in touch with Cincinnati, we'd have never known about the home run. We'd have just seen that 5, and we'd have wondered about it for a long, long time. But anyway, it's a split of the doubleheader over there as Houston and Cincinnati divide the doubleheader. Of course, the Cardinals were really pulling for the Astros in that one. In the National League other action, Chicago won a doubleheader from New York 5-3 and 18-10, and the Giants were beaten by Atlanta 4-3 in 10 innings. Philadelphia pounded Pittsburgh 14-1. American League, the White Sox won a doubleheader from the Yankees. Boston and Washington split a doubleheader. Cleveland won the first game by a score of 12-1 over Kansas City, and they lead the second game 3-2. Minnesota, Baltimore. First game went to Baltimore 5-2, and the second game just getting underway. And Jim Fregosi hit one in the bottom of the ninth inning with 2 on for the Angels to win from Detroit. That's it, Vinny.
All right, Jerry. Ron Willis from Tennessee, born in New Bern and lives in Memphis. He's a converted outfielder. He's 6'2", 190-pounder. Willis delivers in the side armor over for a strike to Lou Johnson, 0-1. The day that Willis received the news that he was to be converted from center field to a pitcher was the same day he had 4 hits in a low minor league game. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Fastball hit in the air to right field. Maris coming in and over a bit, under it now, and makes the catch for the out. So the Dodgers, for 5 consecutive innings, have left a man at second base. And they're trailing by 1 run. Fly ball to right. They do get 1 over here on 2 hits. And the score at the end of 5.5 innings, the Cardinals 6 and the Dodgers 5.
Have you ever tried to explain baseball to someone who doesn't know anything about it? Somehow, somewhere, between the number of players on a team and an explanation of the infield fly rule, the excitement gets lost. Well, the same thing can happen when I talk about Packard Bell products. Like baseball, there's a lot of excitement in Packard Bell products. Take a Packard Bell stereo console. I can tell you about the 100% solid-state tuners and amplifiers, tell you there's a minimum of 6 speakers, talk about the garage turntables, and, of course, the hand-finished Packard Bell cabinets. But that doesn't get us to first base on the exciting features of Packard Bell stereo consoles. Whether it's baseball or Packard Bell stereo, you have to be there at your Packard Bell dealer. That way, none of the excitement is lost. You can tell it's a Packard Bell by the sound, pure and simple.
Bottom of the 6th inning, 6-5 in favor of the Cardinals. They won the first ball game 8-7. Ron Pernoski will now pick up and make his second appearance in the doubleheader. So Don Sutton went 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 2, and Perry is his replacement. Pernoski worked an inning and 2/3 in the first game and gave up 2 runs. Errors back of him hurt him. But the losing pitcher in the first game was Bob Miller, who was racked up for 2 singles and a double in the 9th inning. Julian Javier will lead it off. Pernoski ready and delivers big change high. Ball 1. 1-0. Javier, Maxville, and the pitcher Ron Willis. Jim Lefevre up even with the bag at third. Pernoski checks the scoreboard. Ron ready. 1-0 pitch on the way. Curveball over for a strike. 1-1. The Dodgers somehow, some way, trying to find out how to break a 6-game losing streak. So far, they've been unable to come up with the answer. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball outside, gets away from the scoreboard, ball 2. The Dodgers have left 7 men on base through 6 innings. They left 11 men on in the first game. And on this road trip, that means 3 times they've left 11 men on base. And have all been losses and all 1-run games. So you can understand the ball club is, well, to say perturbed would be an understatement. The 2-1 pitch. Hit off the hands and a fly ball to center. Coming up in a hurry is Parker and makes the catch. 1 away. Maxville fouled out to right, flied to right. So somebody said to Dow, why don't you try going to the other field? He said, all right. He's 0 for 5 on fly balls to right field in the doubleheader. He's been on base once, he walked. Of course, he's not a strong enough man to be considered a real full hitter anyway. Baranowski delivers, fastball outside, ball one. He's got to hit the outside pitch to right. He weighs about 150 pounds. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Dow. Fastball hit to right center for a change, and Parker is there to catch it for the out. So Maxwell keeps going the other way for out. And two down, Ron Willis, the ex-outfielder, coming up. Boy, talking about ex-outfielders, how about the Mel Queen story? That's enough to make a picture. Gee whiz. Boy who just started to learn how to pitch, and he's 7-1 with the league-leading Cincinnati Reds. Mel Queen. The pitch to Willis high, ball one. You know what Queen's earned run average is? 1.9. Imagine. Fellow just starting out. There's a line drive base hit for Willis, who still knows how to swing the bat. So he swings like an outfielder and singles to center. Hit number 1 off Baranowski, number 9 for the Cardinals. And it brings up Lou Brock. Brock, considering the fact that he is an explosive ball player, has been relatively quiet today. He walked and scored a run in the first inning of the first game, walked and scored a run in the first inning of the nightcap. But that's not usually enough for him. Baranowski delivers. Brock takes high. Ball one, 1-0. 2 out, 6th inning, 6-5 Cardinals. We're in another one of those ball games. This has been a wild road trip. Baranowski back to the plate, and the curve is on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1. Even last night's game, which in the history books reads 5-2, but that was a one-run ball game. It was 2-2 in the 11th, and one swing changed it. We've had nothing but exciting games. Not only one really bad game. That was when the Braves ripped one up in pieces, 13-5. 1-1 pitch. Brock hits a high fly ball to right field and deep. Back goes Hickman on the track to the wall and makes the catch for the out. It's 3:30 down the line. He hit it about 3:28, and a breeze coming in off the river at this hour, 10 minutes to 7, appeared to cut that thing down. No runs, one hit, a man left, and at the end of 6-5, St. Louis. Don't forget, the Dodgers will be playing the rough ball clubs when they get back home, and it's essential to have more excitement at Dodger Stadium. Opening up with the Cincinnati Reds. They're in town Friday night, June 16th. Ladies' night, Saturday, June 17th. Father's Day, June 18th, Sunday. After the Reds, Monday night, the Braves. Walter Austin night, staged by the Westwood Shrine. Also a 7 o'clock game with Atlanta, June the 20th. Same sort of schedule, a night game followed by a 7 p.m. game with the Cardinals, June 21st, 22nd. And wrapping it up, Friday night the 23rd, Ladies' Day, Saturday the 24th, and Sunday afternoon 25th with the Giants. We'll read off the scores again for you. In a doubleheader, the Cubs swept 5-3 and 18-10 over the Mets with a dozen home runs hit in it. Atlanta beat the Giants 4-3 in 10 innings. Philadelphia over Pittsburgh 14-1. Cincinnati and Houston split. Houston 7-4, Cincinnati 8-4 on a pinch hit grand slam home run by Don Pavletti. American League, Washington and Boston split. Boston 4-3, Washington 8-7. California on a 3-run home run by Jimmy Fregosi beat Detroit 6-4. Cleveland beat Kansas City 12-1. Cleveland leads 3-2 in the 7th of the nightcap. The White Sox swept from the Yankees before 63,000 at Yankee Stadium, 2-1 and 3-2. And Baltimore beat Minnesota 5-2 in the first game, lead 1-0 in the bottom of the second at the nightcap. 7th inning, 6-5 Cardinals. For Packard Bell, more play-by-play. Here's Jerry Doggett.
All right, Vinny, and Jimmy Lefebvre at bat. Single, walk, fouled out, and the pitch is inside and low. Ball one. 1 ball, no strike. To Lefebvre backs out. Jimmy in the first game had a 9th inning home run to drive in 3 runs and tie the score. Willis delivers a swing and a foul back over the backstop, and it's 1-1. Ron Willis trying to save it for Alvin Jackson. Willis has been in 22 ball games now, and he has won one and lost two. Earned run average is 6. Now the pitch on the way. Taken over for a strike, and it is 1-2 to Lefevre. Ron Fairley on deck. The breeze blowing in from right field makes it a little harder to hit one out of here to the right side. Pitch outside, ball 2, 2-2. The Dodgers have been catching up all day. They got even once, 4-4 in the top of the third, but Sutton couldn't hold on. And the Cardinals went out to a 6-4 lead. The Dodgers got one back in the 6th inning. And the pitch to Lefevre's outside, ball 3, and now he has a 3-2 count as we play in the 7th inning. It's been a long day. Doubleheader here in St. Louis. Now the 3-2 pitch. Lined at Cepeda, scoops it up and trots to the bag. Boy, that was a hot one. And Cepeda dug it out on one short hop. So Lefevre whistled one to first. Caught on one bounce by Cepeda. One out, and here's Fairley. He's 0 for 3. This game had 2 hits in the first game. Cardinals won the first game 8-7. They lead this game 6-5. Every game has been close. There's a swing and a miss at a breaking pitch. Strike 1. Jim Hickman comes out on deck, and Dick Schofield to follow. 1 strike count, 1 out in the 7th inning, and Willis delivers. Ground ball to the left side at shortstop Maxwell up. Throw is in. 7th inning. Here's the pitch on the way. Curveball is too high for ball. 1-1. Packard Bell sending it to you from St. Louis. Off day tomorrow. The Dodgers are certainly going to need it after a long night last night and a doubleheader today. Cardinals go to Pittsburgh tonight. They have to play tomorrow. Here's the pitch for a strike. 1-2 to Hickman. So the Cardinals going into Pittsburgh. Both teams leave St. Louis right after the game. Here's the pitch on the way. Strike 3 called on a slider on the outside corner, and Hickman called out on strikes to retire the side. So Willis gets him out 1-2-3 in the 7th inning, and the score at the end of 6.5 innings of play. Cardinals 6 and the Dodgers 5. Packard Bell puts the best in home entertainment inside truly beautiful furniture. Take a Packard Bell color TV stereo combination. It'll give you precise, true color reception anytime you like, or just pure sound. Your favorite record or radio station as it should sound. It performs beautifully while it's on, but there'll be times when you want silence, some conversation, or just peace and quiet. And the Packard Bell Color TV stereo combination provides the most beautiful silence in the home entertainment industry. The silence of fine furniture. Available in 7 models at your Packard Bell dealer. You can tell it's a Packard Bell. Even when it's off, it performs beautifully. Last half of the 7th inning, a lot of folks have gone home at St. Louis now. The Cardinals out in front 6-5. And they've been here quite a while. Of course, the game started at 1:15, which is nearly 6 hours ago, but most of the folks were here an hour before the game, so they've had a long day at the ballpark. So we have, out of a total of 43,000 on hand, at least half of them still remaining. Here's Bobby Tolan's bat to face Ron Faranowski in the last half of the 7th. Ron ready. Now the pitch. Bounce back to Faranowski. Throw to first base in time, and with 1 out, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
This is KOY Phoenix.
Here's Roger Maris at bat. Roger in the first game had 3 hits. Second game he has walked, fouled out, and struck out. Faranowski set the work to him. Left-hand hitter. Now the pitch. Breaking ball low. 1 ball, no strike. This will be Ron's last inning. He's due to bat third, and the Dodgers need a run, so he probably will not hit in the 8th inning unless the Dodgers get a run or two before the third man is up. Pitch is in there for a strike. 1-1 to Mara. Roger batting .295. He has 3 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Singled 3 times in the first game. He's played good games against the Dodgers. Long drive to right field, way back. Going, and it is in the seats. A home run for Mara. Against the left-hander Ron Paranowski, hits it in the seats in right field, and it is 7-5 the Cardinals lead, and Paranowski now has yielded his second home run. Harry doesn't give up very many, and Maris hit that one deep to right field, and the Cardinals back to a 2-run lead. Here's Cepeda at bat now as Paranowski gets set. Cepeda's had 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. Bouncing ball towards second. Ron Hunt on the outfield draft throws to first in time, 2 outs. So Maris gets his 4th hit of the doubleheader, and this one is a big one. Puts the Cardinals back to a 2-run margin, and in a ball game like that could be a very big run. He takes the butt away from the Dodgers when they come up in the 8th inning. So Maris strokes one into the seats in right field, his 4th as a Cardinal. Here is Shannon at bat, and he's had a big day. He's driven in 5 runs today. Here's a curveball for a strike, 0-1. Mike Shannon, the third baseman. Last half of the 7th inning, 7-5 in favor of the Cardinals. Time for a sweep of the series now over the Dodgers. Fastball is low. 1 ball, 1 strike to Shannon. Home run by Maris. Gives the Cardinals a 2-run lead. They led 4-0. The Dodgers caught up, fell behind 6-4, caught up to 6-5, and now back to 7-5. Fastball low, 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, nobody on in the 7th. Here's the pitch on the way. Too high, ball 3, 3-1. Dodgers have Schofield, Torborg, and Paranowski spots due up in the 8th inning. And they're going against Ron Willis, who came in to relieve Jackson. Now the 3-1 pitch. Curveball for a strike, 3-2. Full count to Shannon. He's had 2 hits this game, 3 hits in the first game, and 5 runs batted in the doubleheader. Playing third base. Pop foul out of play. Full count to Shannon, 3-2. Balls, 2 strikes with 2 men out. And Paranowski getting all set now to go to Shannon. Here's the pitch on the way. Struck him out with a fastball to retire the side. But the Cardinals pick up a big run on the home run by Maris, and none left on. The score at the end of 7 innings of play, the Cardinals 7 and the Dodgers 5. The 8th inning, and the Cardinals lead 7-5. Back to action. Here again is Vin Scully. Vinny?
All right, right, Jerry. Dick Schofield will lead it off. He'll be followed by Jeff Torborg. At least he's due to be followed by Torborg, but I see Roseborough going over to the bat rack and putting on a helmet. And then after Torborg comes Peronoski's spot. Ground ball to the hole on the right side. Javier plugs it up and throws him out. One away. Schofield, ground ball to Javier. Now Johnny Roseborough coming out of the Dodger dugout to hit for Jeff Torborg. 7-5. Cardinals trying to sweep. Roseborough in the first ball game started, struck out, lined out, and singled. So he's 1 for 3 today. John coming up to the plate, hitting .284. One out in the 8th inning. 7-5, St. Louis. Roseborough swings a slicing fly ball to left field, blocked from sunlight to shadow, and there to make the catch for the out. So Roseborough, a fly ball to left field. Now Willie Davis will come up and bat for Ron Peronoski. Davis giving a rest in the second game, now makes an appearance. The Dodgers used 4 pinch hitters in the first game, and they have now used 3 in the nightcap. Fastball is hit down the right field line, foul into the Cardinal bullpen. Retrieved by Bob Milliken, who at one time picked up Dodger checks. Big pitcher. Willie Davis hitting .280. 2 down, 8th inning, 7-5 St. Louis. Ron Willis kicks in the right-handed delivers, and Willie strokes it right through Cepeda's leg. Over to get it is Maris, and Willie holds on. It will go as a base hit. The most charitable score in the league would have to be here in St. Louis. So Willie Davis hits one right through Cepeda's leg, base hit for Willie. And the Dodgers, who were all over the score in last night's game, hollering and waving from the dugout, quietly sit back. There's a comebacker by Parker, and Willis flips to first for the out. So for the Dodgers in the 8th inning, no runs, 1 hit, a man left. Score at the end of 7.5 innings, the Cardinals 7, the Dodgers 5.
If a baseball manager doesn't make the right adjustments during a game, he's in trouble. He's got to know when to use a pinch hitter, when to use the hit and run. His adjustments keep the team fine-tuned, playing its best. The same thing holds true with TV sets. If a TV set can't adjust itself to give the very best picture, you're in trouble. That's one of the nice things about Packard Bell TV. It adjusts itself automatically. Take set and forget fine-tuning, for example. With other sets, you have to fine-tune every time you change channels. With Packard Bell TV, all you do is fine-tune each channel once. From then on, every time you change channels, it fine-tunes itself. And you can get it with both black and white and color sets. Stop in and see Set and Forget Fine-Tuning at your Packard Bell dealer. You can tell it's a Packard Bell. It never forgets.
Bottom of the 8th inning, 7-5 St. Louis. And Phil Regan will be the third Dodger pitcher. Dave Ricketts will be coming out, switch-hitting catcher, batting left-handed. And Phil Regan tuning up with Johnny Roseborough. So Roseborough hits 8th and Regan 9th. Regan did not pitch in the first game. Still in the second game, comes in with a record of 2-3, making his 23rd appearance. 7 runs, 10 hits, and an error for the Cardinals. 5 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. In the bottom of the 8th, curveball hit off the hands and rolled up the middle for a base hit. So Dave Ricketts comes up with his second hit. He's 2 for 4. And the batter will be Julian Javier. Brock and Dow Maxwell are hitless in the Cardinal lineup. Regan at the bell, Phil delivers, and a bunt foul up along first, 0-1. The Cardinals, who saw the Dodgers get off the floor and score 4 times in the 9th inning of the first game to tie, are not going to take anything for granted here in the second game, leading by 2. So they had Javier trying to sacrifice. 0-1 the count to Julian Javier. He singled to center and twice flied to center. Right-hand hitting second baseman. Charging the plate is fairly in a full swing that time by Javier. Strike 2. So they took the bunt off. Javier swinging a 35-ounce bat. He's not a big fella, so he's letting the bat do the work. Cepeda swings about the heaviest bat in the league that I know of. Orlando has a 40-ouncer. Clemente will swing a 38 and a 39 occasionally, and so will little Matty Alou. Strike 2 pitch, outside, ball 1. Javier is about 174 pounds at the start of the year anyway. 1-2 to Julian. Ricketts at first base, and the sinker outside, ball 2. 2-2. Ricketts standing at first. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning, 7-5 St. Louis. Cardinals won the first ball game, 8-7. Regan sinker swung on and missed, strike 3. So Javier strikes out. And the batter will be Dow Maxwell. Maxwell, in this doubleheader, hit 5 fly balls to the right fielder. And then his last time up, he flied to right center to the center fielder. So he's 0 for 6. Dow returning to the starting lineup after Bressu had played short to give him a rest for a couple of days. If you're not keeping score, when the Dodgers come up in the 9th, they have Ron Hunt, Lou Johnson, and Jim Lefebvre. Regan's fastball fouled away out of play off to the left, rattling around in the booth next to us, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to count. Regan to a stretch, another look over at first, and he decides to go over there to drive Ricketts back. 1 out, bottom of the 8th, 7-5 St. Louis. They've rolled a natural, 7-11. Fastball is popped in the air on the right side, fairly at the bag, now into foul ground, makes the catch. So Maxwell always going that way today, and to no avail. He winds up going 0 for 7 in the doubleheader. Here is Ron Willis, trying to save this one for Alvin Jackson. Willis picked up for Jackson in the 6th inning, got Lou Johnson on a fly ball to right, and has allowed just 1 hit. Left-hand batter grounds it down to Schofield. Dick up with it, has to go the long way in time for the out because they were playing Willis to full, and Hunt couldn't get to the bag. In the 8th inning, no runs ahead, a man left. 8 innings of the second game in the books, and the score: the Cardinals 7, the Dodgers 5. Well, friends, you know the phrase "price is slightly high higher west of the Rockies? Well, it tells you the product is made in the East and has to be shipped cross country. And the manufacturer wants you to pay the freight charges. If you've shipped anything recently, you know the charges aren't slight. But products made in the West are a lot lower west of the Rockies. There's no cross-country shipping charge. Well, Packard Bell is a Western manufacturer. All Packard Bell stereos, TVs, and color TV stereo combinations are made in Los Angeles. So when you buy Packard Bell, you're paying for quality, not shipping charges. Why in the world do you want to pay freight on home entertainment products? Buy Packard Bell, made in Los Angeles. You can tell it's a Packard Bell. It's made in the West. Inning, 7-5 in favor of St. Louis. Ron Willis trying to get Hunt, Johnson, and Lefevre. The Dodgers have lost 6 straight. And if they lose this second game and they're trailing by 2 with 3 outs left to them, it would equal their longest losing streak back in 1964. After that is the unpleasant thought for the ball club to think of the 1962 team that lost 10 in a row. And after that, well, we'll wait till we cross that bridge. Ron Hunt popped up, single to right, single to left, double to left. He's 3 for 4. One of the big factors for the Dodgers on this road trip and throughout the 6-game losing streak, they get a lot of hits, but not enough runs. They really spin their wheels. They've left 19 men on base in this doubleheader so far. Hunt takes outside ball 1, leaving 11 in the first game, and it's the 3rd time on this road trip they've left 11 men. They piled up 10 more hits, and they had 13 hits in the first game. 1 ball and no strikes to Ron. The next one by Willis, over for a strike, 1-1. So Ron Hunt, 5 hits in the doubleheader. 3 for 4 here in the second game. Willis into his windup. Right-hander kicks and delivers, and the fastball is low. Down in the Cardinal bullpen, Nelson Briles gets up along with left-hander Hal Woodashek. 2-1 to Ron Hunt. 43,159 at Busch Stadium. Hunt grounds 1 foul outside of third to Preston Gomez. 2-2. The Dodgers off tomorrow and then open up a 3-game series in Chicago. And the pitching staff, of course, praying that the wind will not be blowing like it must have been blowing there today. A dozen home runs hit in the doubleheader at Wrigley Field, Chicago, but that's still 3 shy of the all-time record. 15 hit at Wrigley Field, Chicago. High bouncer off the plate. I don't think they'll have a play. Nope. Willis catches it, but then just turns and hunters across the bag. So Ron Hunt on a high chopper comes up with his 4th hit of the second game. 6 hits for him in the doubleheader. And he's weary, and Gene Michael will now run for him at first base. So Ron Hunt put in quite a day's work. Boy, he has become some ball player. In fact, he was a good ball player last year. So Ron Hunt, his 4th hit. The batter, Lou Johnson, who made his first start since the 27th of April, he is 0 for 4. Hit back to the box, struck out twice, and slid to right. He lined out to short as a pinch hitter in the first game. Takes a look at a fastball for a strike. 0-1. One strike to Sweet Lou. Willis fastball over again. 0-2. Johnson, being brought along slowly, made a couple of 2 pinch hit appearances in Atlanta. One of the 2 home runs. Then pinch hit in the first game and lined out. And now started in the nightcap. Curve outside. Ricketts down on his knees and skidding as he gloved it. 1-2 to Lou. At the belt, right-handed delivers. Fastball on the corner, strike 3 call. DeLue Johnson shows he's a bit rusty. Strikes out 3 times in his nightcap. 1 away, and Jimmy Lefevre coming out. Lefevre hit a 9th-inning 3-run home run in the first game to get the Dodgers even, but the Cardinals came back to win it in the bottom of the night. Now Lefevre in the second game has a walk and a base hit. He's 1 for 3, and he's up there with a chance to tie it up should he hit another one out. And you can bet that's paramount in the thought of Ron Willis out there on the mound. Packard Bell sending it to you, the waning moments from Busch Stadium in St. Louis. Willis delivers, and Lefevre takes low. Ball 1. Gene Michael inching off the bag. Willis set at the belt, and the 1-0 pitch is fouled away. Lefevre hitting left-handed against right-hand relief pitcher Ron Willis. 1-1 pitch is fouled at the plate. 1-2. On deck, Ron Fairley. Now, catcher Dave Ricketts comes over to get a towel to dry off his face. Dave wears glasses, and no doubt with the mask on over the glasses, the perspiration running down over the lenses, and he had to get a towel to clear the vision. Okay. 1-2, the count of Jim Lefevre. Willis delivers. Jimmy swings. Ground ball slowly to Cepeda. His only play at the bag, and down to second base goes pinch runner Gene Michael. So the Dodgers have 1 out left to them, and Ron Fairley at the plate. Fairley flied to center, popped to short, and grounded out twice. He's 0 for 4. Cardinals 1 out away from a sweep. The Cardinals would then pick up a game on the Reds, who split, and the Birds would then be 2.5 out of first place. So here's Fairley waiting. Willis at the belt, looks back at Michael at second, and the pitch outside to Ron. Ball 1, 1-0. 1-0 to Ron. Now Willis back, and Fairley takes the fastball on the corner for a strike. 1-1. I'll tell you why the crowd is applauding. There is a huge man, very heavy, and he decided he would stretch out under a row of seats and take a nap. And at first, I think people were worried about his welfare and well-being. They pitched to Fairley outside, ball 2. And everyone was relieved to find out he was only taking a nap. But he's a big man, and when he got up, he was wobbly. So with an usher on each side of him, they have helped him onto his feet and back outside. The 2-1 pitch, Fairley takes outside, ball 3, 3-1. Yeah, I guess it was a pretty long day for him. 3-1 to Ron Fairley. 2 out, 9th inning, 7-5 Cardinals. Willis ready in the 3-1 pitch. A ground ball back of first. Up with it is Cepeda. Turns underhands to Willis for the out. So the Cardinals sweep a doubleheader and sweep the series, and the Cardinals have now won 5 straight, and the Dodgers have now lost 7 straight. Their longest losing streak since the 7 they dropped in 1964. In the second game for the Cardinals, 7 runs, 11 hits, and 1 error. For the Dodgers, 5 runs, 11 hits, and no errors, with Jackson the winner relieved by Willis and Sutton the loser. The Dodgers in the second game leave 9, so they lost 8-7, 7-5, and in the doubleheader left 20 men on base. And so, that does it from the doubleheader point. A sweep for the Cardinals, 8-7 and 7-5.